Yes, welcome elite entrepreneurs and empire builders to the greatest Facebook group, man, on the entire metaverse. I'm genuinely excited for today, and here's why. It is blistering hot outside. The last couple of days where I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Central Iowa, and it is just blazing. Okay, this is where I call home, and I love it most of the year. These last 3 days have been crazy hot, just like scorching the earth. Hot. You walk outside and it's so humid. You literally feel like you're like in a swimming pool. Like it's hard to breathe almost. It's just now nasty out it's been. So today I thought, with how hot it's been, let's bring the cool to the Facebook group. I'm a dad, so I got to come up with the dad jokes like that. But we are talking to a company called CoolVu today, and I'm genuinely pumped about this one because it feels like the last few live streams we've had, you've met CEOs and you've met some founders. Today, you're meeting both president and a co-founder of one of the fastest growing groups. It's exciting stuff. Mike, I see you got that. I see you LOL in the comments. You're a dad. You get it as well. So welcome, man. Glad you're here. If you have questions throughout the interview today, drop those in the chat. Drop those in the comments below. I'll make sure I get those live right here to the president and co-founder of CoolVu. CoolVu, here's what they do. They provide cutting-edge window film graphics and architectural surface solutions that prioritize efficiency, sustainability, and customer satisfaction. They launched a couple of years ago, 2022. That's it. Now, it wasn't like they just started. They went through 4 years of pretty intensive research to really get this thing off the ground. Okay, and with that, remember that they just launched 2 years ago. They've already surpassed, earlier this year, in fact, they just surpassed their 100 unit mark, which if most of you are not on the franchisor side, that is a huge milestone, one that should be popping champagne balls over the place, just clapping hands, celebrating. But it's just one road mark along the path. But they have seen incredible growth. And we're going to talk about that growth and what has led to that success in our interview today. On top of that, they already have 855 five-star Google reviews online. It's insane all that they've experienced. And today we have the pleasure of bringing in the president and co-founder, Mike Herrera, who he alone has 30 years of franchising, of building a business development experience, of business leadership, of marketing, of sales. As a co-founder of CoolVu, he's actually been recognized as the #1 window film graphics dealer in the entire United States by Window Film Magazine, and the National Dealer of the Year on 3 separate occasions by one of the leading product manufacturers in the entire films industry. I'm going to be careful there, films, not film. Films industry, right? But I'm sure he's a phenomenal actor as well. Everything he touches turns into gold. It's incredible stuff. And so my combo today, I'm excited to bring him in because I actually got to meet him. I had the pleasure and the honor of sitting with him. Me and my wife got to sit with him at a banquet at a conference earlier this year. And truly just a very compassionate, kind, generous guy. And the combo we had was awesome, but because the thing is, like, it wasn't really about business. He didn't care about how is my business doing or talk about how his business is doing. We talked about, hey, tell me about yourself, tell me about your kids, tell me about your hobbies. What are you into? We spent a lot of time talking about health, nutrition, and fitness, and both of our journeys, and it was just a breath of fresh air. On top of that, at that same conference. This is what's super cool about this brand, CoolVu, okay? I want to share this with you because it's a personal experience of mine that I haven't had with any other brand. At that conference, we have 350 plus different brands that I work for within my portfolio of brands. At that conference, the presidents of the brokerage with which we are affiliated with, okay, as a consultancy, Fran Opps is affiliated with, the presidents came to me and said, of all the 350 brands we have in our portfolio, if I could choose one for my child to become an owner with, it would be CoolVu. That is a true story. And so I was like, man, I got to talk to Mike. I got to talk to the president. I got to hear about this. I got to share this with other people. This is a really unique opportunity. So I am genuinely excited to bring in Mike Herrera. So without further ado, let's get started. Elite entrepreneurs. Here we go. Mike, welcome to the greatest group in the world, man. Uh-oh, I can't hear you, Mike. I can't. Just a second. You might be muted. Okay, then wait. Unmute you.
There we go. I'm sorry.
Hey, there we go. Let's try that again. Welcome to the greatest group, Mike.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the introduction, and wow, I can really hear the passion you have for also helping people find opportunities for them and their lives and their family. So it's inspiring to hear that, Jared. And thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to your group today and share more information about CoolVu.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're spot on, because I think and maybe that's one reason that I enjoyed that conversation that my wife and I had with you at the conference is just maybe a connection of kindred spirits there. Because truly, that's why I'm in this business and still in it is, my previous career was actually in vocational ministry. I was a pastor for a decade. And what I found in being a franchise consultant and running a consultancy, a lot of similarities. At the end of the day, a lot of it really just comes down to helping people, caring more about that person, caring enough about that person to say, hey, this either isn't a good fit for you, or this one might be what you're looking for, or just knowing them on a more intimate emotional level. And so that's why I'm in it. It's really to help people kind of achieve and pursue their dreams of business. But I'm genuinely excited to hear about this one, because I think this one very well could be the game-changing brand for some of the lead entrepreneurs listening now or listening down the road. And so let's just start with you and your story, because they're here to hear you. They're here to meet and connect with you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you're at today.
Well, very much like people who will go through a journey of finding the right business and the right franchise opportunity for them and their family, I looked at my career in the franchising industry that now is about 30 years as also a journey. I started off as a franchisee in a business for about 4.5, almost 5 years with my brother, and we had a couple of restaurants, and we enjoyed the business, but he decided he was going to be doing other things, and so we decided to sell the businesses and move on. But I met some really incredible people in those 4.5, 5 years in franchising, and some of them knew what I was going to be doing in leaving the franchise and selling. And they reached out and said, hey, we'd love to talk to you about getting involved on the development side, right? And that was kind of my first opportunity to get involved in development. And I spent the next, 8, 10 years working with different companies and learning a lot from each of those brands, meeting a lot of great franchisees in those brands. So for me, it was a real journey. And of course, years later, worked with some really prominent brands that are out there in different spaces. And I think without patting myself on the back, I think I did create a reputation of being very, very honest, very transparent, and very caring about people finding the right opportunity for themselves and their family as well. And so this led me to, of course, CoolVu. My other co-founder, Jeff Franson, who's been in the window film, graphics, and surface finish business for almost a little over 25 years now. With one of our other affiliate companies. Him and I have known each other for about 15 years or so, and never had a chance to work together, but we just knew each other, and we shared information back and forth what's going on with our companies and our businesses. And one day he reached out to me and said, hey, Mike, I've got this new product I'm going to take to market. It's very unique. It's not out there in the market now. And I'd like to really see if you'd be interested in helping me launch this. And so we spent about 2 years, as you mentioned, really developing not only our product line out, CoolVu product line, but also the brand, working with different marketing folks on the brand as well. And that led us to launch our business in 2022. So for me, it's been a journey as well. And we decided in 2022 of January to go ahead and launch the franchise. Yeah.
Incredible. So tell us a little bit about that, because you just said when he came to you, said this isn't on the market yet. So are you saying like nobody was doing glass and surface solutions back then?
No, I mean, the industry itself is really made up of a lot of independents, businesses out there, non-branded type franchise opportunities. And so there was nobody in the franchise space that I recognized and saw. What I did see in the solar window film business was a lot of automotive application type franchises, right?
Sure.
but nothing in what we call flat glass, which means residential windows, retail storefront windows, and commercial structures, right?
Okay.
No type of a franchise brand in those spaces. So there really was an opportunity for us to do something there. And so I spent, a bit of time researching it, finding out why wasn't there anybody in that space,
Yeah.
and talked to a lot of people, and came back, and Jeff and I came back together and said, you know what, there's a real opportunity to have a national brand in this space, and so that's when we launched CoolVu.
Yeah. So speaking a little bit more into that, then about what the company does, like what are the what does CoolVu do?
Yep. Well, CoolVu applies three different types of products on three different types of different surface finishes, and we have three different types of customers as well. So if you think about it, we're not really a niche business. We've got many opportunities of
So
product.
multiple verticals there. Okay.
Yes, sir. A lot of different verticals. So, for instance, our biggest, of course, is the solar film. Solar film that we put on glass, either in residential, retail, or commercial glass and windows. And that's going to help with the heat. A lot of people are, as I heard you earlier, it's really hot where you're at, right?
Use that today, that's for sure.
Yeah. So the different types of films that we have in our portfolio under CoolVu will significantly reduce the heat. It'll reduce the fade and control fading in regards to flooring and furniture, but also even that glare that comes through the glass, where you get, hitting your eyes, the glare.
Yeah.
So those are the real applications. And of course, having solar window film on your windows also will help keep the inside cooler, which will reduce your energy cost.
Yeah.
So that's, and under window film, solar film is only one particular film. Then you look at, decorative films that can go on glass. And you look at privacy films, security films, which is really big today, with residential and retail and commercial, stopping smash and grab, delaying entry into a home with security film that goes on the glass as well.
So with that now you're in completely different contexts. And now you're in different cultures. You're in urban and agrarian and cosmopolitan areas, all because all have different needs. I like that. That's good. I didn't know that. That's fascinating. Cool.
Yeah.
How do you guys measure? What does success look like for you guys? You guys have, in 2 years, you've grown to over 100. Well, is that success, or what are some of the metrics or measurements you are using that you could share with us on how your brand has been successful?
Yeah. Well, listen, reaching 100, a little over 100 franchise operating territories is a success. But, that is only one piece of it. How we really measure our success is the success of our franchisees, right? That's how we really believe we're going to recognize that we're successful. Yeah. So it all starts with our franchisee partners, and making sure that we're providing everything we can to assist and help them grow their businesses in their local markets, by either providing the marketing support, the operational support, the technology support, whatever it may be. And we're doing everything we can. And my team at CoolVu Corporate, which is a fantastic team, is really dedicated to making sure that we do a great job to support our franchisees. We have a kind of a motto: franchise partners are first. We want to make sure they're getting everything that they need, and that obviously is reasonable to help them grow their businesses. That is our main focus. So that's how we measure success at the end of the day.
That's I love hearing that you would, and just goes to show who I said you were, someone who cares more about people than the profit and or the product itself. It's about people. And so how do we help them succeed? Because that's how I want to be successful, helping others succeed, And so can you speak into that a little bit more about what support then? Because to be fair, lots of franchisors say the same thing. Our support is awesome. It's the best for people, which I believe for many of them, that's true. They do care about how we provide support, because they can't be successful quite literally if the franchisees are not. So can you speak a little bit more about what does support look like from your team for whether it's the pre-launch or getting into it? If I'm a lead entrepreneur coming into this, I like the concept. I don't know anything about window films. I've never done it like that. So tell me about what support looks like from your team.
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing before I jump into that, I would say that we are very much a company that we believe in. One of the core values that we have is transparency. I think
Mm,
transparency is very, very important for our franchise partners. And what that really means is that on a weekly basis, we send an email out for all the sales that have transpired in every region and every franchisee. So an email goes out representing, what were the sales for the week for each individual franchisees that reported a sale, right? It could be 5 sales they had, 10 sales, 2 sales, whatever
mm,
it was, but also transparent to say what type of product it was, what type of customer it was, what was
yeah.
the price on the job, what was the lead source, right? So that everybody can see those things and say, okay, wow, they're working with this kind of a lead source. I need to call them and ask them about that, right?
Mm.
Or I see that they're putting a lot of this film on these kinds of windows. Wow, I need to reach out to my peer and find out why are they selling more of that film, right? So to me, it's all about transparency. We want to share that information with everybody in the system. That goes on weekly. We also share every month. We have what we call a cash rebate program, where
Okay.
because we are very unique in our business, we also are the approved vendor for all the products as far as window film products, right? We have a very deep portfolio of CoolVu branded window films, right? So when a franchisee walks into a business or a home, they're
Yeah.
walking in there with a CoolVu branded product. But because of the fact that they're buying product, there's a tiered system where they can actually earn up to 10% cash rebate at the end of the year for the amount of product that they bought through the portfolio of products. So we're very transparent on that as well. So every month there's an email that goes out and shows where everybody's at, which tier everybody's at, right?
That's
So
awesome. So if you're a
yeah,
competitive person,
yeah, but
that's
it's also
great.
it's also transparent. And I think it's important
Yeah.
for our partners from other peers. Now, when it comes to people coming to us who don't have any experience in this business, which is 99% of them, right? They're going to go through a very detailed, starting with the franchise development representatives. They're going to go through a detailed, introduction of the product and the business model, and they're going to learn more about that through the whole presentation process.
Yeah.
They're going to learn more about it through the validation process with our franchisees. They're going to learn about it when they have a call with me as well at some point in the process, because I really want to get to know who the candidates
So they
are.
do get to have a call with you, the president.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
absolutely. Before they make that final decision, and before we make the final decision on them, because I think it should be a mutual decision
Yeah.
for them to join. Absolutely, because I want to hear some of those questions they may have that they feel maybe only I can answer. But I also want to ask them some questions too. I want to make sure that going into this business with us and partnering with us, that eyes are wide open on both sides, right?
Yeah.
They have a true expectation of the business and how the business can operate for them and how we can support them. So that's really
Awesome.
important on the front end on the relationship. Secondly,
Okay.
then of course
With connection issue here. Be patient with us, friends.
Georgia, and then once they've completed that training, they're going to learn a lot. Of course,
Hey,
they're going to
Mike.
training about.
Hey,
Yes,
Mike. I apologize. You cut out there just as you started getting into the second one. So can you go back and tell us what the
yes.
second one is?
The second one, of course, is the training, the initial training,
Okay.
how
Yeah.
important that is. And there's going to be some pre-training activity as well. They're going to receive via email some things for them to look at and review and read before they come to training. There's a list of things they'll need to get started with, like, for instance, getting their business bank accounts, their licensing, their business licensing in their local area,
Okay.
getting their vehicle. There's a number of things they'll do for pre-training. And then, of course, once they come to the 1 week training class, they're going to learn a lot about different products, the product application, how to sell that product, how the features and benefits of those products are. They're going to learn about our CoolVu Pro software, our business software, which is a very unique software that'll help them. It's really the
Okay.
backbone to their business. It's going to help them in the field in regards to doing proposals, keeping track of their calendar, all of those types of things. So that's something we actually provide to them as part of their initial investment. So it's a 2-in-1 laptop loaded with our CoolVu Pro software. So they're going to spend a lot of time learning about that, how to order products through our ordering portal, how to get to our forums. We have an open forum set up, so they can go in and ask questions on open forums for other franchisees to see and learn and hear and answer. And of course, we have a 24/7, what we call a franchise resource portal, where they can get there anytime, 7 days a week, and gather information. So during this training, they're also going to get some hands-on training, how to install the film products on glass, right? Those types of things.
So you guys do teach your owners how to do that themselves, because not every franchisor even wants to do that or but that is part of your process.
It is. It's a very important part. And I tell everybody, even on that call with me, listen, it's really, really important that you really know every aspect of the business. You know, that you know how to go and do the consultation with the customer, but you also know how to put the film on, right?
Yeah.
And I do even recommend that they actually do that, at least for the first 6 months. They should be doing all of those things themselves, right? Instead of paying out somebody else, why not pay yourself for that, right? Keep that money in your pocket and learn the business, and then let the business then get to a point where it forces you to have to hire somebody else or 2 people to get involved with you.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys looking for hands-on owners, or what kind of owners are you looking for?
Well, we're looking for both. We're looking for both what we call owner operators who can do both and want to do both.
Okay.
But we're also looking for those executive folks who say, you know what, I'm used to running an executive business, and I'd like to be able to start off with a couple of territories. And I do have some people I want to bring in and work with me. We're very open to both of those.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
What about, you mentioned earlier the investment. So give us the numbers. What does the investment cost kind of look like? So if there's an owner who's interested in doing this, tell us what it's going to cost.
Yeah. So before I jump into that, just know that there's complete operational, marketing, and technology support throughout the term of being a franchisee partner with us. So that's ongoing, right? Annual convention every year as well. We just had our first annual convention back in February of 2024. We're planning our 2025 February convention now. When it comes to the investment side, we have 2 different types of fee structures. The first fee is called the franchise fee. That franchise fee is $19,900.
Okay.
We can finance that in-house, okay, over 72 months, or they can pay it off up front and get a discount for paying it off. Now, something very unique. If you're a veteran, or we're a veteran, I guess a veteran is veteran no matter what, right? So if you're a veteran of the armed services, we're going to waive that franchise fee of $19,900. Okay.
Wow.
If you are a first responder, woman-owned business owner, minority-owned business owner, we're going to cut that franchise fee in half, 50%, and we'll still finance that in-house over 36 months, or you can pay it off and get a 25% discount up front. Now, that is our franchise fee. Okay, that's the franchise fee.
Right.
The next thing we have is called a territory fee. This provides you your protected territory. So if you want to secure 1 territory, the territory fee is $40,000.
Okay.
If you want to have 2 territories, the second territory would be $30,000. And if you want to have 3 territories, the third would be $20,000. So it's 40, 30, and 20.
Reduce the more you get up front. Yep.
Correct. Yeah. And the franchise fee is a one-time franchise fee.
Okay. Incredible. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. A one-time fee. Okay, good. And then you have an average, minimum, maximum, like what could they expect all in at?
Yeah, so all in, depending on, again, if they're a veteran or if they're a first responder or a woman-owned, and the franchise fee structure and the $40,000 territory fee. Let's look at a single unit. I mean, you could be looking at it from a high like $58,000, $59,000 all in, plus your vehicle, right? Yeah. If you're looking at multiple territories, you could be looking at $70,000, $80,000 all in, plus your vehicle as well.
Oh,
so
yeah, a low barrier of entry. Wow.
Yeah, very low barrier of entry.
Yeah, right. So then, okay, I love the costs. Love the getting into a business that offers so much support, that is so technology forward thinking as well. I mean, even just from like following you guys on YouTube and one, you can tell like hey, let's figure out ways that we can use AI. Let's figure out ways that we can, build up software that's proprietary, that's going to be unique and to our franchisees, help them succeed. Let's all these kinds of things. Incredible opportunity here. Do you have, in the 2 years you've been doing this, do you have any specific success stories of current franchisees that stick out to you that you could share with us?
Absolutely. There are a couple of actually that stand out, and there are many of them, but just a couple that stand out to me. We have a young couple out of the Portland, Oregon area that came on board with us.
What's young, Mike? What's that mean?
Well, they're. I'm 61, so anybody less than me is young, right?
All right.
But they are in their late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Great couple. Very, very. They're a couple that really came on board and were very, very focused on growing a business for themselves. They didn't want to have a job. They didn't want to go to corporate America. They just wanted to work for themselves, and they're willing to do anything it took to be successful. I love it.
Yeah.
And so they have 2 territories in the Portland, Oregon area, and they both are operating the business together. And they first year took off. I mean, they were hustling and they were doing everything they needed to do to work their business. So tremendously successful in the first year, no doubt at all. Obviously, I'd love to share those specific numbers with you, but I know we have some limitations on what we can share. But for those of
go ahead.
But for those of you out there who would be going through a journey looking at CoolVu as an opportunity, of course, you would be able to talk to them, and they would share the information with you directly. Yeah.
So they could be on the phone with those owners and actually get
absolutely. We want them to talk to our franchise partners and owners. Absolutely. In fact, if anybody came to me and that's one of the questions I ask, how many folks have you spoken to? Oh, I spoke to 1 person. Great. You need to talk to about 4 or 5 more.
Yeah.
Right. And I say not because necessarily whatever they say, you're going to say that's why I made a decision. No, I always say this, look, when you do your validation calls, you should never make a decision based on somebody's level of success or maybe somebody's maybe a little bit lack of success, right? There's a reason for both. What you should really look at is, do I see myself in this business with this company? If I can see myself doing it and following the systems and following the programs and being coachable and knowing that the corporate office has your back and they're doing everything they can to support you, I think that's how you make a decision, right? But the other person that comes to mind too as a success is a gentleman out of Charleston, the Charleston, South Carolina market, and he actually relocated to Charleston. So he relocated to Charleston
for CoolVu.
For CoolVu, yes.
Wow, okay.
In his first year, he also, like the folks in Portland, just took off. He just got there and he just put everything into place, his marketing, and he just went out there and made things happen.
Love it.
So those are a couple of stories that just pop out at me, and there are many others. But the one thing I can tell everybody that's listening in today is that one thing about CoolVu is we're very, very focused on generating lead activity for our franchise partners. So we're not afraid to invest in those areas, and we continue to invest in those areas on a daily basis through our website landing pages for our franchisees, all kinds of things. So we're very focused.
So leads are not
driving.
Just on the franchisee to go get. Like, that's obviously a big part of it, but it's not them on an island trying to do that.
Correct. It's really twofold, right? It's local things they're doing locally in their marketplace, but then things that we're doing ourselves to help drive lead activity. Now, I will say we get a lot of internal leads from our affiliate brands as well. And it's a little bit more complicated to talk about that now, but as part of their journey, if they decide to look at CoolVu, we'll explain how we're getting actual leads from our affiliate brands who have customers have an interest in film product. So I can tell you that we generate well over 1,500 leads a year for our franchise partners, and that's just continuing to grow. I mean, it's growing every day. Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. Do you know what kind of what's the split there between on average for your franchisees, like how many leads they get local marketing themselves versus how many are coming in through you guys?
Yeah, if I had to take a look at that, I would say probably it's somewhere in about 60% are coming in from their local activity, and about
Okay.
40% are coming in
Wow.
from our programs.
That's incredible. Holy
Yeah,
smokes. So yeah, somewhere
yeah.
around there. That's insane. So you mentioned earlier, of course, you can't share a lot on here, but what they're making and that kind of thing. Can you share with us some about what, the return on the investment might look like in some way, whether it's, do you have an item 19 or willing to share some of that information with us here?
Yeah, we do have an item 19, which is a performance representation, right, that we have in our
Yeah.
franchise disclosure document. And the item 19 has a couple of different things that we share at this point. One is, what's the average transaction, right? What does the average transaction look like? It's looking like about $1,782 per transaction on average, okay? And then we look at also closing ratios. So for instance, for every appointment, or let's say for every 10 appointments I go to, what's the level of closing I could be looking at? And we are right at about 55% closing ratio, right? Now, that might sound like for every 10, I get about 50% closing. Yes. However, that's average, right? That's average. So we do have folks out there that are like at 70, 80% closing, right? And we're a big believer, and we trained in this, is you offer your customer what we call a good, better, and best option, right? So if I go to your home, Jared, and you call me because you have a real heat problem, a glare problem in your home with windows, and I come in and I say, Jared, let me take a look at your problem here, right? And you see these windows, and I do all my measuring, and I figure out, okay, these are the options I'm going to give Jared, and I give him a good, better, and best. All of these options will work for you, no doubt about it. But some are stronger than others, right? So I give you a good, better, and best. Some have different pricing as well. Within those good, better, and best, Jared, you're going to find something that meets your needs and your budget,
Mm-hmm.
right? So by doing that, you're only increasing the chances of you closing transactions, right,
Yeah.
and meeting the needs of the customer.
Yeah, that's so good. So you do this little Red Riding Hood kind of approach to offering pricing without pigeonholing people to go, this is what your stuff's
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah, because if you provide one option for them and it happens to be outside of what they're thinking about spending it on the project, it's very difficult to go back and say, well, let me give you something else, right? Because they're in their mind thinking, well, why didn't you just share that with me on the front end, my other option?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it becomes a credibility issue. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So my last question then, I think for you is if there's a couple people watching right now that I think are intrigued by this,
Hmm.
but so tell them, why should an elite entrepreneur, an empire builder, consider CoolVu over another opportunity, especially like some of your competitors? Why CoolVu over another opportunity?
Well, I think a couple of different reasons why. I believe number one, let's look at the cost of entry, right? Obviously, in order to reach a faster return on your investment, we got to look at the cost of entry.
Yeah.
And then we have to look at the actual application of product, right? And the business model. We have three different lines of product: solar window film, we have graphic solutions that go on glass and floors and walls, and we have
Mhm.
surface finishes that rewrap doors and rewrap flat surfaces. And we have three different types of customers: residential, retail, and commercial.
Yeah.
So we've got a very, very diverse group of customers and product line, number one. And what do they have all in common? Peel and stick materials,
Mm.
right? So no fancy heavy equipment, no expensive equipment, things like that. It's a mobile business, home office business that can scale up over time. It can scale up, right? And so if folks out there that are watching and listening, if they're looking for a business that they can say, I want, low cost to get in, I want something that's scalable, I want something that's simple in the business model. And I will say that uh, the margins in our business are very good, very strong. Again, they'll need to confirm all that with our franchisees when they talk to them, but I can say
Yeah.
that they are very strong. But also, they're looking for a business also in their local community that they want to really help people with their problems,
Yeah.
which is why people are calling and reaching out, because they have a problem and they want to be a solutions provider to those problems. This is a great business for that, right? They become the bearer of good news to their customers so that they can help them with their problems. So that, along with, I think, getting involved in a business with people that have 25 plus years of industry experience, not just franchising, but actual industry experience.
So good.
We're the company. Our regional support people in the field, well over 20 years of experience in this industry. So, you're talking to some real pros, and you're talking about probably over 200 years of experience in the window film, graphic, and surface finish industry that are supporting our franchisees.
Wow, incredible. The team that you've put together, the business that you guys have built, and just the growth that you guys have already experienced, I think sets you on a trajectory for wild success down the road. And so I'm excited for you and your team, but for all the franchisees that are going to be joining as well. It's exciting. And if that's you today and you're watching this, you're like, man, I want to hear more. I want to get connected. Then literally today you can type cool in the chat, and we'll get started today. We'll get you connected to see if you qualify for this, if this is a good fit for you, if you're a good fit for them, and if so, at the end of the day, I will literally get you connected with CoolVu this afternoon, today, if you're watching this, so we can get the conversation, or we can get the ball rolling on what this might look like for you today. Put that in the chat. Until then, Mike, I can't appreciate you and your time enough to sit down with us a little bit in the midst of building a business, a growing business, and continuing to run it, to spend a little bit of time with us to share about this opportunity with the members exclusive to this group. So genuinely, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jared, for the opportunity. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Everyone else, type cool in the chat. We'll get started today. Until then, we'll see you next time.
It might be the coolest franchise opportunity in years. CoolVu is franchising. If you're a prospective franchisee looking for a fantastic new opportunity, take a hard look at CoolVu Glass and Surface Solutions. CoolVu is the leader with thousands of satisfied customers throughout the U.S. and Canada, servicing homes, retail locations, and buildings with CoolVu products. The demand for CoolVu's broad range of products is huge and growing fast. CoolVu clients want sun control, UV protection, security, privacy, and all kinds of cool glass and surface solutions. You need cool graphics on your windows, anti-graffiti coatings on your buildings, custom wall murals, and much more. CoolVu has top-quality, market-leading solutions. CoolVu has a proven track record. The company founders are industry veterans who are offering incredible franchise opportunities right now for the first time. CoolVu franchises are home-based and family-friendly businesses. Franchisees will make their own schedules. If a franchisee wants an executive or no employee business model, CoolVu is an excellent choice. Protected territories, flat fee royalty, no net worth requirement, total investment of $60,000 to $100,000 depending on territory size. CoolVu's cutting-edge training, support, marketing, and technology will turn franchisees into CoolVu experts fast, who will hit the ground running. Contact the team now at CoolVuFranchise.com. Change your life. See your future differently. It's a pretty cool view.